Would you rather date someone who is incredibly attractive but has zero ambition, or someone who is average looking but highly driven? Let's check this out.
Look, first of all, I'm very protective. I'm very jealous. It's done. Like, there is no conversation around it. We're not talking about anything. We are done.
Question her, why did you do that? And it depends on the answer she gives to me.
I will feel hurt, please, but I'm going to warn him. She not try it again, please. Don't embarrass me like that.
Well, I'm a liberal person, and
now fine, I want you. No, like I have to go for somebody that is ambitious instead of the good-looking thing.
Average looking and very ambitious.
I love ambitious men. You have to be very ambitious. Don't worry. When you have money, the looks will come.
Very ambitious, but it's depending on how average though.
I can do average looking and very.
Unfortunately, none of us here can answer that question because Kelly Ray is married, Deck is married, and Gang is married.
I think we should say something though.
Yeah, okay, so
we can still answer.
I can say something.
Yeah, you can.
First of all, it depends on your definition of beauty.
God bless you.
Yes, for me, if you're not ambitious, you're ugly, man.
Wow.
Beauty for me is not just about your face. So I think that answers it.
Nice one. Deck, do you have something to say to that?
Well, one of the things that I told my wife when I met her was, look, you must understand that I want a woman that can take care of the home whether or not I'm there. It takes ambition for you to have a woman who can do that. And I can boldly tell you that my wife takes care of the house every time that I travel or whenever it is that whether I'm there or not. And this is not because she's there. Whether or not she's there, I would always say this. My wife she's a woman king. And that's a fact. That's on
Sell your market, girl.
That's on period.
Sell your market, Deck. Wife is in the building.
All right, Gang, your thoughts on that?
Who are you to determine that somebody is attractive and not in the first place?
Wisdom.
Who are you? Do you understand?
What measures, man?
Do you understand?
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen people are saying, oh my God, this person is so attractive. And I look at the person, I'm like, I don't see what you guys are seeing. Who are you to say somebody is attractive and not? That's number one. And like Kelly said, ambition is key. You have to be an ambitious person. Who looks help? That so-called attractive that you're talking about, if she's too attractive, is attracting other people, not just you. So let's stick to the ambition. Your looks, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. We are all beautiful in thy sight. We all make sense physically. But if you
just go biblical.
If you're not ambitious, it's a problem.
Yeah, it is.
I think ambition is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a beauty.
It's not ambition, it's a problem.
Ambition for me is a quality of a partner. If you're not ambitious, for goodness sake, what exactly are you doing?
What exactly are you doing?
That would mean that I would have to exhaust my ambition to give you a little bit of ambition. Because I would have to always work hard for you to take a cue from what I'm doing.
All right. And so one more thing first, because I can't be the only one here that hasn't put my wife on the pedestal. For those of you who know my wife, you see how attractive and beautiful she is. She attracted me.
So she got
me.
Yeah.
She's got both ambition and beauty.
I think I'm not supposed to say anything because they all know.
They
already.
know.
Yeah, you've seen her. Y'all seen her though.
All right. So our main topic for tonight, I'm just going to give a summation of the story. The home of a Nigerian couple living abroad descended into chaos when the wife discovered that the girl her husband brought from Nigeria to live with them is actually his biological daughter. In the video shared online, the wife is seen confronting the husband about the girl named Chioma, whom the husband claimed was his niece, and the wife only discovered when she found out that wasn't actually his niece and that was his daughter. The husband begs had to put off the camera in the video. We all saw that, but she calls him a bloody liar and asks him to get out. The wife then insists that Chioma, who appears to be a teenager, must leave the house. Now, the topic is this: why do people lie about having children, to their partners? And of course, why did he lie about his child? Did the wife overreact? And was, the wife throwing a minor out in the streets, the right solutions? Now, there are a lot of things that men find very difficult to discuss with their partners, especially if they are strayed maybe before they met them or during the marriage. So Kelly, you in the entertainment industry, and of course being the recent winner of Big Brother Nigeria. That comes with a lot of pressure. Now, how would you handle a situation like that? If by chance, you slipped, you fell, and you landed in, and then there's a child in it, how would you tell your wife?
Or would you tell her?
Or would you tell her, yes?
First of all, I'll say this, this is where proper communication comes in. Now, when I say proper communication, is broad, Communication for me is, many times we listen to respond, we listen to attack, we don't listen to understand. Now, if I tell you a certain truth today, because sometimes I might want to tell you something, but I might say something else to see how you will react. If I tell you, and I think it goes for everybody, if you tell someone a certain truth today, and the person reacts a certain kind of way, you might not want to tell them some other truth again.
True.
Now, not because you really want to hide it, but you want peace, you want to protect your home and all that. I'm not saying is the right thing for you to hide it, because if you have to cover a lie, you have to tell another lie to cover that lie.
Exactly.
And then for how long are you going to?
Too many lies.
Yeah, do you understand? So first off, I cannot say the woman overreacted or not, because you cannot tell someone how to react when you've done them wrong. Yes, that's one. But on the other hand, I feel she would have been more empathetic on that girl. Do you understand?
The girl shouldn't be the one receiving all of that.
Yeah, no, I can still understand if she reacts to the girl, because do you know if the girl has been playing along? And then in her head, if she has been playing along, it means you and my husband, you guys can actually just collab and do something to me and I won't even know. I'm just giving excuses for her. But if I were in her shoes, I think the person I would have faced as the man. Not that girl is just a teenager.
She's innocent.
Do you understand? Even if you want to send her away from the house, at least not immediately where she'll be stranded. Do you understand? Then on the man's part, he would have mentioned probably the woman, because the way she was shouting in the video, it feels like she'll really be hard not to crack though. But he would have, because if you had something like that and then it blows up another day, it's even worse for you. So he would have just told her.
All right, so Dek, your wife, I'm looking at your wife again. Let's say, let's play out a scenario. You have a child by another woman outside of wedlock.
Never. Not Dek.
Not Dek, yes, definitely not Dek. Everyone needs a Dek in their life, by the way. And then you want to tell your wife. How do you tell her?
Okay, so the good part is the fact that, like you said, my wife is here, and we have actually talked about this issue before. My wife is not the regular type of woman.
I'm not talking about your wife. I'm talking about you. How do you tell her?
Let me tell you why I said that. The reason is because if peradventure I have a child outside, my wife will not kill me. Do you understand what I'm saying? However, this is not to say that I would do something like that to disrespect her. There are certain things that I would just not do. I would not allow to happen. This is not based on confidence. It's just based on, my respect for not just myself and not just the marriage, but my respect for the woman I call my wife.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? There are certain things that some men do that just requires some sort of brain reorientation, because I can't understand for the life of me why you would have gone to the extent of impregnating another woman, having a child, and then you let it degenerate to the point where you think it is sense for you to bring that child into your house and claim that child is for, another person, that this is your niece.
Yeah.
You see, like he said, like Kelly said, you must understand that one lie will continue to breed another.
Exactly.
How long do you want to keep that up? How long do you want to... See, there's no way. You can never treat someone else the way you treat your children. You will always have love for that child. Your wife will find out one way or the other. Do you understand what I'm saying? So for me, personally, I don't see myself trying to even get myself into that position at all in the first place.
Don't do.
There's no... See,
Do not.
You see, because the truth is this, right? You don't want to put yourself in unnecessary mess. It's just heart aching. If it happens, babe, it don't happen. Oh yeah.
You surrender.
Shall I pack my load and go?
Yeah.
Or please, just help me. She says no, you know what to do. But there's no point hiding it at all in. See, it will never play out well. It will never work out.
Never.
Okay, Gang, your thoughts
I
on
have
that
to come in
quickly.
real quick. Here's the thing. There's so many angles to look at this from. One of them is when you have children out of wedlock, how do you tell your current partner that you have such? And like Kelly said, sometimes you can test them with certain things to see how they react.
Exactly.
And it makes you say, I would rather hide this
Than
tell.
have a
You get
conversation.
me?
Yeah.
Because I know of stories, there's some people that were raised by their grandparents, not knowing that this was their parents. Women have had kids that they also have done the same thing. This is not new. This is not the first time this is happening in this kind of
But
scenario.
how do you communicate it to your partner?
So that's the funny thing. Sometimes when you know the kind of person you're with, sometimes people don't want to lose the person they're with, and they hide behind certain lies. There's no gain in that, especially if the lies will be uncovered later on. But there's so many things to look at. I always say this. Now let me take a moral high ground. This is why they say no sex before marriage. Do you understand? So that you guys meet yourselves as virgins, so that there's no drama
No
involved.
pressure.
There's no pressure.
Yeah.
But if you meet a man that has already been sexually active and has been with multiple partners before meeting you, there's some things you should ask yourself. When a man meets a woman that has been sexually active with other partners, there's some questions that you should ask. For example, if a man was to say, have you had an abortion? Or he doesn't know how many abortions you've had before you've been with him, and then he now marries you, and then conception seems to be some kind of a problem, and then he now finds out that you've had a particular amount of abortions that you never told him. Does he have the same right to say, you didn't tell me about that abortion? Because the thing is, I kept mine, you didn't keep yours. So that's what happens when you are sexually active couples that have lived so many lives and have now come together. So the thing is, you don't want to hide any secrets. You want to come out and say, this is what we're doing.
Situation.
This is the situation. This is where we're going to. So the man has hidden this thing. Like you said, the daughter, to an extent, is innocent.
Oh, she is definitely.
She has no
Most
say in this. But now she's being treated ill, thrown out of the streets.
Guilty by association.
She is a future mother-to-be as well.
And you know the bad part. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You know the bad part about this, and what I would say is the after effect of this, even if they do settle this, is the fact that that woman will never show that child love.
True. Yeah,
Consciously
because,
or unconsciously.
Yeah, because there's a sense of betrayal.
Yeah,
in all of
absolutely.
this,
Yes.
Every
which we
time she
cannot
looks at
deny.
that child, she will always remember the betrayal.
Yeah.
That's a
Yes,
fact.
because let me tell you how deep it is for some women. I don't want to speak for women, but let me tell you how deep it is. Knowing that you have a child, that means that child has a mother. That means there's another woman in your life.
Exactly.
So what is your relationship with the mother
And you
of
can
the
never
child?
take that away. That will always be
And you
there.
can't take it away.
Well,
She's even
because-
lucky that it was a girl. If it was a son, she would have lost it even more.
All right, so final take from Kelly.
On this issue.
Yes, on this.
I think couples should be more open. Yeah, whatever it is.
More honest.
Yeah, more honest. Speak to each other. Talk more.
Yeah.
Connect more.
Yeah.
And as you're being open, be good listeners and be understanding as well. I think
All right.
that covers everything.
Thank you very much. I'm going to take a couple of feedbacks on social media, and then there are a few traditions that we do. We have something we call Just a Tip, which I think you just did, which was like a final take. And of course, we have our toast of the week.
Okay.
And we added something very new. It's our Woman of the Week. So it's just celebrating friends, loved ones,
didn't know
colleagues,
that one.
brother, I'm just hearing this too.
So, yes, you're just hearing it. That's the whole idea.
On the main show.
On the main show, yeah.
Okay.
So let me quickly take the social media comments, and then we'll take the toast of the week, and finally our Woman of the Week. So Adayo says, Omo, checking my partner's phone broke us up. I saw things and he go defensive.
far.
He go defensive. Okay. I'm like, WTF. You can see me naked, but I can't see your phone. Okay. Okay, so that's from the first story we took. And then Remy says, Kelly Ray in the building. Alpha, my guy.
I'm good, man.
Afunke says, leave Nigerian men out of the phone thingy. Very selfish men. It's a good thing I'm not Nigerian, by the way. They come up with don't touch my phone rules because they are bastards. Wow. talking about don't touch my phone.
That deep.
Yeah, when the girl's phone rings, they stretch out their necks like ostriches to see who's calling. Oh man, wow, this girl the vex. Sorry. Enter. Atumishe says, even if my man gives me access, I won't. Last time I tried, I cried. I guess that has to do with still checking our phones. And then we have Atsuki says, I love Kelly Ray. I'd also allow my wife access to my phone as long as I don't have anything I'm hiding. Kelly Ray, you see, you got people supporting you on that. Tbenga says, I'm talking for all the men. Osha is beginning to do too much. You're Eta, Benga. As Shiju Ade says, before we judge, I beg, let's imagine the roles were reversed and the woman brought a son or daughter claiming that it's a nephew or niece. How would you react? After finding out, everybody reacts different to things. Women are more emotional. Well said, Shiju Ade. At Mark 1 Inzi says, more reason why I will never marry, but just have my kids and raise them by myself. I think that still has to do with
You
the
have
story.
to impregnate yourself too.
Exactly. I felt that the girl's pain, the woman totally overreacted. I can't blame her though. It's in their nature to react before thinking. In bracket, women. Now, that is Mackenzie 1 is probably a guy giving a feedback on that. Interesting quick fires, interesting stories, and interesting would you rather today. But yes, we will be taking our toast of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, so guys, what are we toasting to today? Kelly Ray, since you're the first time on the show, I think I'll let you give us a toast of the week. Glasses up?
Empty glass.
You want
Toast of the week?
some?
No.
Well, man, here, toast to more money because I think there's
More money.
more money, man.
Toast to more money.
More money.
More money,
Cheers,
man.
guys.
All right. Well said, Kelly Ray.
No issues in the home.
No issues at home, yeah.
Yeah.
You see,
No unwanted children.
No wanted children, please, man. No checking of phone.
No checking of phones.
all right, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so to round up the show, I'll take our woman of the week now. Titili Laya Delago, so popular now. Citi's Dynamite is a Nigerian television host, former model, and philanthropist. She's a co-host of the breakfast TV show Wake Up Nigeria on TVC Entertainment. She's also a professional anchor, voiceover artist, voice actor, audiobook narrator, and diction trainer. Now, this we're doing because
Why Titi?
we get a lot of. I have known Titi for over 20 years.
I'm like, but why are we celebrating? Why is she a woman of the week?
Because of the things she does that you guys do not know. Now, it's important that men, we celebrate our women no matter what and how, we know them because there are amazing women out there.
I think we always do that.
Us, yeah, men should do that more.
But we always do.
Yeah,
How
men should do
more,
that
bro?
more.
We've done 2 Mother's Day. How many photos? Just last month.
But
and
it's never enough. It's never enough, Kelly. You keep doing it.
You surprised me. Titi is a good friend as well. I thought maybe it was her birthday, something special. I know her husband celebrated something some days
last
ago.
week, yeah.
So I was wondering whether something had happened, why she was the focus. But shout out to Titi.
Yeah.
Shout out to her
for
too,
that.
though. But
Shout
I think we should have this topic some other time. The
Yeah.
people who are not celebrated, they are the men. Let's face facts.
Okay.
I'm not saying we can celebrate them more, though. But the people who are not celebrated.
All right, before we wrap
I'm
the
with you.
show, I want to ask just this random question, and I'm hoping you guys can answer. If you can, then we'll do that. Kelly Ray, when is International Men's Day?
I don't even remember.
Okay. Deck.
It just comes. I just
International Men's Day.
is
Yeah.
in February now.
February what?
I can't remember.
Okay, gang, go about you.
Men are celebrated the second Sunday in July every year.
What date?
Second Sunday. There's no particular date. The
No, there's
second
a
Sunday
date.
is the day that men are celebrated.
All right. Well said, gang. Gang got it correctly.
Okay, it's correct.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yes, we will celebrate men more, and that's
when
why.
did I get February?
You're thinking Valentine because your wife did that surprise to you. You remember what you told us? You're thinking Valentine.
So why is he thinking February?
Well, I don't know.
All right, on that note, thank you, gentlemen. It's been such a pleasure, having you on the show.
Thank you
Deck,
so
always
much.
a pleasure to have you.
Appreciate it,
And my
man.
man, Wisdom, all the
now.
time.
You know.
All right, so we'll be back, same time, same station next week. It's the Black Table, the Ultimate Men's Guide. Do have a good night. Remember, the darker the night, the brighter the stars.
Good morning.